What's going on, everybody? Now, what we got to talk about here is some patterns that I'm noticing inside of the prices for Baby Doge. We're going to be talking about whether or not Baby Doge is about to rise or crash. So, we're really going to be looking at these prices and breaking it down. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, but let's get straight into this. So, first thing is first, we're going to look at some numbers. So, as you can see right now, 8Z2060 up 9% in the last 24 hours. That's pretty good, from 1880 all the way up to where we are now. So 9% in the last 24 hours, 34 million inside of volume. Volume's been increasing over time. We just now got good news from the Fed, or maybe it's not good news. I don't know. Some people took it as good news, some people didn't. But they're holding off on the interest rates, right? They're not doing nothing with them. They're letting them kind of sit and chill as how they are, right? They're not going to continue to lower them. They're not going to raise them back up. They're just kind of leaving it, at a flattened level, right? They're just kind of leaving it at the level where it's at now. So I guess that sparked some change in the market. Some people buying more crypto and stocks, all that stuff. But what we really need to discuss is what's going to be happening for the future of Baby Doge. Because as you can see, we had this little pattern, but then after we got the little the news today, I guess if you want to say that, then we had a pump, which kind of broke us out of this pattern. So I was kind of waiting, and if we didn't get this news, we would be at the down end of this pattern. We'd be at the this little trend line here of the pattern, and then would be making its way back up to the top of the pattern, and it would kind of be squeezing in between this pattern until it actually had to either break out or break down from there. So what I really want to talk about are the different levels or different areas where this pattern could go, right? We're going to talk about what is more likely to happen. So there's two different things that this pattern could be. It could be a rising wedge, which is a bearish pattern, or it could be over here, a falling wedge, which could be a bullish pattern in a downtrend. We are in a downtrend, so it could be a bullish pattern in a downtrend. But notice how this falling wedge is going downwards, right? But this wedge here is kind of just going sideways. It's not going downwards. It's not really going up. It's going sideways. So it's not the following wedge, right? And you could say it's the rising wedge here, but it's kind of hard to tell right now with how things are going inside of the market. So I'm going to say that this is a rising wedge type of pattern, which is pretty much a bearish pattern. A lot of people have done a lot of research on the rising wedge patterns. It could be bearish, but it could also be bullish. So the falling wedge is a pretty much a bullish pattern, right? But then the rising wedge in a bearish pattern is bearish. As you can see here, it kind of looks like both of these levels. It looks just like the falling wedge for the bullish pattern when it's going in the downtrend. And it also looks like the rising wedge bearish pattern when it's also going in a downtrend. It kind of looks like both of them, but which one does it look like the most? So that's what I'm pretty much breaking down here. So for the falling wedge bullish pattern, you notice the bottom trend line is sloping down a lot more, and the top trend line is also sloping downwards, right? And then you notice for the rising wedge bearish pattern, you notice the bottom of the trend line is going upwards more, and then the top is kind of almost sideways, but just barely up at an incline. Well, what do you notice here? You notice the bottom of this wedge pattern is going upwards, right? And then you notice the top of it is kind of slightly going downwards, just a little bit. So it's almost like it's a mixture of both of these. Like, honestly, I like to call this one the flagpole pattern. And some people will call it the same. It's because it looks like a flagpole, right? So let's put flag wedge pattern. So that's probably not what it's actually called, right? But it's what I'm gonna call it, the flag type that we have here. and we're coming from, you know, a bearish standpoint. So in a way, it's almost like a bearish wedge flag. That's kind of what we have here. It's like a bearish wedge flag, right? Or you could call it a bearish pennant, and that's kind of what it shows here. A bearish pennant or a bearish wedge flag. It's kind of almost like a hybrid of both of them. So that's kind of what I came up with this. I would say it's more like a bearish pennant, which is a bearish. It's a bearish pattern. So that's kind of what we're seeing here. But since we had, the news with the Fed, we kind of broke out of it, prematurely here, and it was supposed to continue to go down and probably go through this and then drop lower down to 8Z 1800 and possibly a little bit lower below that. So that's what was supposed to happen. But, with the whole thing with the Fed, we just had a breakout that wasn't really supposed to happen. So that's what we got going on right now with the prices here with Baby Doge. But this is such a short little pattern, right? We're just looking at a 15-minute chart, and that's what's happening on the 15-minute chart. So, according to the 15-minute chart, that's pretty much what's happening from a long-term perspective, or I mean, from the short-term perspective. That's what we're looking at. We're looking at things from that short-term perspective here. But now when you look at the 4-hour chart, everything kind of looks a little bit differently. Like we could easily break out of this pattern and invalidate all of that because, it's just, we don't have much to go off of. And then another thing you got to remember with the whole base thing, if we can get bridged to base very soon and they just start posting stuff on Twitter about us getting listed, that would cause a huge pump inside of the market for Baby Doge, right? But let's say we don't get any news for this for the next few weeks, Baby Doge is inevitably going to go down. It's inevitably going to go down if we do not get any type of news on any thing going on inside of Baby Doge. And that's the thing with Baby Doge. It tends to go down a lot when they're not tweeting about something big that they're doing, about something where they're not teasing something big that's about to happen. It just goes down, right? Baby Doge doesn't have that natural inclination to just rise with the market just to do it. It just doesn't rise for no reason. It always has to have a reason to rise. It usually doesn't rise for no reason, right? We got 9% today. Well, not even just because of the news with the Fed, because yesterday we really started to rise from there just because we hit a major support level. So we started to rise on our own, but then we pulled back after that, and then we kind of hit the bottom of that wedge pattern, and then the Fed said what they said and made everything pump. And kind of see here, we were rising on our own because we hit an important support, and then we were going right back downwards, and then the Fed said what they said, and then boom, we had the unnatural rise right there. So pretty much what I'm trying to say here is this is a bearish pattern, but we have some untraditional things, some unorthodox things that are happening inside of Baby Doge that's causing it to rise. So there's a possibility that it could continue to rise, but right now it's not really holding that strong. If you actually look at what these candlesticks are doing, just kind of look at it and study it. Notice how these red candlesticks are just coming up way more often than the green ones. There's just way more selling right now than buying. Like you see, we get some buying here, immediately stopped and followed by selling, just barely any buying here, and then more selling, and then a little bit more buying, and then a lot more selling. And then people try to buy it back up, but then the selling keeps pushing it down. So I think we're going to be going down back into this pattern. And if we do that, we're going to be seeing 8Z 1900 soon. And then we're going to have to decide whether or not we're going to end up breaking that bottom of the wedge pattern. So that's what we're going to be seeing soon. As for the question of is Baby Doge about to take off or is it about to crash, I would say it's not really either. It doesn't seem like it's just going to randomly take off and just do huge numbers unless we get some type of tweet saying, hey, base is coming out now or inside of a week, or Coinbase is listing us in a week or something like that. If we get something like that, we could definitely see it take off. But if not, we're going to have to wait. And that's kind of where Baby Doge is at right now. It's at the point where it has the potential to do some big numbers. It does. But when you look at the technical patterns are showing you a bearish movement here. It's showing you that it's about to be bearish. That's what the technical patterns are showing us. But fundamentally, the fundamentals are pretty bullish right now. We got a lot of good stuff going on for Baby Doge. So fundamentally, it's looking bullish, but technically, it is looking bearish. So that's the conclusion I've came to here with Baby Doge. So unfortunately, if we can't get some type of good news for Baby Doge, we're going to see a big drop in the price. The last support that we've actually had back here, Baby Doge had hit 8Z1400. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm saying here. So we could see it hitting 1600 here because we had some support here as well as resistance at 1600 before. And then you'll see that 1400 support because we had 1400 support as well as 1400 resistance. So pretty much what I'm saying here is 8Z 1400 and 8Z 1600. You might want to be looking out for those. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. A lot of people don't want to hear that we're possibly going to be going that low. I don't want to say that we're 100% for sure going that low, but a lot of people do not want to hear that we're possibly going to be dropping all the way down there. So I'm going to go ahead and draw out our supports here. Like I said, we got 1600 right here that we're going to be watching out for. So this is our 1600 support. And then we have our 1400 support. So we just got to accept it for what it is. And that's why I'm kind of creating these support lines now. So you guys know when we'll more than likely see it bouncing back up at, where we'll see it bouncing back up at. So if we are to pull back, then let me go back over here to the 4-hour chart. If we are to do some pullbacks out of this little wedge pattern here, well, the first place it'll stop at is the discounted price point here at 1800. And then if it breaks 1800 and it's not able to continue to go back up and it breaks it, the next place we stop at is 1600. And then if it's not able to break that and get back up above 18 and it goes back to 16, then we see it going down to 1400. So that is what we're looking at right here. Personally, it doesn't really bother me. I've already bought a lot more Baby Doge at 1900 because I'm positive that eventually we're going to get back up to 8C3. Eventually, like when we get bridge to base, possibly being listed onto base, I think that's going to be good for us. I think it's going to help us get all the way up to 8Z3, and then I make big money, right? But yeah, there's also that possibility that we break down from where we are now, and I'm looking forward to it. And I know a lot of people probably don't want to hear that. I'm looking forward to whatever happens, pretty much, whether it's bullish movements for Baby Doge or bearish movements. I'm looking forward to that. So that's pretty much what I got for you all today. Again, technically, we are bearish. Fundamentally, we are bullish. And with the chart prime indicators, you can see down here at the bottom, it says the prophecy for Baby Doge, market pumps. If you look at my video yesterday, it said prophecy for Baby Doge, market dumps, right? But it switched over because I guess with the stuff with the Fed and what they talked about today, it made everything go up. So yeah, technically bearish, fundamentally bullish. That's what I'm sticking with right now. So I think we're gonna have some nice numbers coming in Baby Doge. I don't think we're just gonna outright crash. I think you see those little pullbacks that we have. Yeah, we recover from those pretty quickly. So I think we're gonna be doing pretty good for Baby Doge, right? And altcoin season and meme coin season, when that kicks in as well, we'll still be doing good. So I'm still holding mine. I'm gonna keep holding it until it reaches that price point. That price point for me is 8Z3 because, well, 8Z34 really, because after that it usually pulls back. So like this resistance here, well, this is really 8Z3750, but when it gets up to this resistance here, that's usually when we see like major pullbacks. Sometimes we'll see them here at 30. So I might take out some gains here and then wait till there's a little bit of a pullback, buy again, ride that up to 3750, sell up here, let it pull back down to 30. What is this, like 30 AZ30? Buy some more, let it trade sideways, up and down, up and down. Use that till it goes up to 8Z4400. Take out some gains there. It'll probably end up keep on going there, but I already took out my gains. It probably won't drop down if it gets to 45. If it gets to 45, you're going to see some big movements, but I'll probably end up getting out here anyway just to secure my gains. I'd rather, make, let's say, $15,000, or let's say I'd rather make 10,000 in profit than possibly be able to make 20,000 in profit, right? I'd rather 100% for sure make 10,000 in profit than possibly make 20,000. That's just how I think. But anyways, that's what I believe is going to happen. Technically bearish, fundamentally bullish. Let me know what you guys think about this. Definitely hit the like button and subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section. All that good stuff. If you want the automated trading indicators, check out the link below in the description. Chart Prime, best indicators out there. And I want to ask you guys, do you want me to start doing more videos on other projects? I really should have asked that in the beginning of the video, and I am going to ask that in the beginning of the next video because I think some people are getting tired of seeing just baby doge videos all the time. So let me know that, and that'll also let me know that you guys are actually watching the full video. So yeah, shout out to you guys that are watching the full video. I really do appreciate y'all. And that's why, for those of you that are watching the full video, let me know if you want me to go over other cryptos, because I might just look at that comment and be like, wow, you really watched the full video, and you probably watched all my full videos, and you want to see me make videos on new cryptos. I'm going to specifically go over those cryptos for you if you're watching all these videos, because that means a lot to me. But if it's like a scam coin, I'm not going over it. I'll make a video about it, but I'll be calling it a scam if it's a scam coin. Like, I'll be saying my actual, like, true opinions on it. All right. But yeah, shout out to y'all that watched the whole videos. Couldn't do this without y'all. Definitely continue hitting the like button, subscribing if y'all haven't. And as always, I'll be back with another video.